Police bosses were last night accused of worrying about woke terms rather than crime. A new guide sparked disbelief by warning staff that using words such as policeman may be illegal. In the 12-page guide from Staffordshire Police, staff were told they must also avoid phrases like man up and grow a pair to be more inclusive.
Joining us now is former Met Police officer Kevin Hurley. Thanks for joining us, Kevin. No one has asked for this. Why are they making this a thing?
Well, I think it's probably because of the route that some senior police leaders are going down, that they're frightened of offending anyone. I mean, quite honestly, it is right that you should call a policewoman and a policeman a policeman. But what concerns me more about this, and it almost leads on from some of the stuff we've seen going on with demonstrations and so on, is far too rarely, if at all, do we see guidance and directions coming out from police leaders that says, we rule the streets, the yobs don't. Our job is to confront wrongdoers and protect the vulnerable and the weak. We are here to arrest those people who need to be put before the courts. But we never see any of that. And I'd go so far as to say my own son recently, after 16 years, has resigned from the police. And one of the things that put the dairy on it for him to make him go off to the private sector, where he's doubled his salary, by the way, is every morning when he logged on to the false intranet, it would say things like, have you done your LGBTQT, or whatever it is, online training, or similar? Never would it say, remember, we're here to keep people safe. So I always, when I was a police boss, took the opposite view, which is, we rule the streets, we look after people. I think where we are now is with a senior leadership that are more concerned about upsetting people. One faint hope I do have is with Sir Mark Rowley, actually, who is in fact his own man, and he doesn't care really who he upsets. He goes straight down the line. And if I may just briefly talk about the events...
Kevin, let's talk about... Can we talk about this Staffordshire guide? It is absolutely ridiculous to tell policemen, serving officers, that they can't use the term policeman or policewoman. It actually says if you do make mistakes with your language along your journey, it's OK, as long as you apologise for them. I would just say, Kev, that the police have got much more important things to do than worry about woke language. The police have got to stop this. This goes hand in hand with dancing the Macarena, obsessing on community relations. Just go out and catch the bad guys. How about that?
Well, of course, I agree with you, but, you know, let's be clear. There's a lot of police women in the force who might prefer to be referred to as that, but your point is spot on. And the question I ask is this: to produce this piece of guidance, they went to outside consultants who, of course, come from one of these particular small groups with vested interest, who would probably have charged Staffordshire Police, who are not a richest force in the country, 20, 30,000, 40,000 for their consultancy fee for what is common sense, which is be careful with the words you use. But bottom line, let's move on. You are here to confront the yobs on the housing estates, not back down because you want to keep community tranquility, because the community are, in fact, the people sitting in their flats and houses scared to death of the yobs when they watch the police back off.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the kind of route I would like to see our police going down, but that takes strong leadership from people at the top. And you mentioned earlier the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester, who tends to be a no-nonsense leader, who's already stepped up the rate of which burglars are being arrested. The police officers on the street are crying out for leadership and support and backup for people who will get behind them, so that when, for example, a video goes out of police officers using what seems to be a lot of force, a senior police officer comes on the TV and says, there's no easy way to arrest a violent person. It doesn't look nice, but our officers are trying to do it in the most reasonable way. And by the way, they're not all Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let's get some people backing our police officers and supporting them and just making it clear.
Kevin,
go out
Kevin,
and arrest people.
Kevin, you're absolutely spot on. Thank you for your time.